Hi equestrians, I'm Makayla, the owner and founder of Calbo Yoga. Welcome to another yoga practice. Maybe it's a Friday or it's any other day of the week, but I am so glad you are here. Today we're going to focus on the root chakra. So it's especially important to talk about yoga philosophy because the yoga asana practice or the physical practice has been heavily westernized, and the philosophy, in my opinion, is more important than the asana practice, especially as it relates to equestrians both in their personal life and the life they lead with their horses. So the one thing I will ask for you today is, if you normally practice with socks on, maybe experiment with taking your socks off for practice today. This tiny little change might allow you to better hone into the extension of the root chakra, which is your legs and your feet. We're going to be focusing a lot on grounding as well as on balance postures today. So sometimes having socks on will be a little slippery. But that said, if it's cold, if you need the warmth, please do what you need to make your practice your own. This was just the one caveat that I wanted to bring to practice today because we are focusing on the root chakra. So we're going to start just with a breathing practice. I believe I've done this before on my channel, so you may be really familiar with it, or maybe it's your first time here. It's a 3-part breath, but essentially it's a full breath. So I like to cue usually with one hand on the chest and one hand on the heart. But today we're going to switch up the arms. That said, if this is a comfortable arm posture for you, or if you're getting used to this breath practice, you can keep your hands here. So when you inhale in through your nose, you're going to focus on filling your belly, expanding through your rib cage, and then expanding through your chest. And your hands, if you choose to have your hands here, allow you to feel that expansion as you take that full body, full lung inhale through your nose. Then on your exhale, you're going to slowly breathe all the air out, starting with contracting your belly, then bringing your rib cage closer together, and then contracting through your chest. So it's not the idea that your body's getting smaller, it's just noticing how the air fills your body, and then as your body shrinks, because you're letting the air out. It's not this idea of expanding really big, opening all the way, and then squeezing everything inside. It's just following the breath as it naturally expands and then shrinks your body down. Your inhales are in through your nose, your exhales are out through your mouth. I particularly like this breath practice with the inhales in through the nose because I find it's easier to regulate the breathing, and then the exhales out through the mouth allows you to truly think about releasing, maybe it's energy, maybe it's negative thoughts, whatever may be going on for you. I find that deepening your breath and tuning inwards is easiest when you're inhaling in through your nose and exhaling out through your mouth. That said, if a different breath practice works better for you, please go ahead and utilize whatever tools you have in your own toolkit. So for today's deep body breathing, we're actually going to use the hand mudra that's related to the root chakra. I know this may be really hard to see. I had to move way back because we're going to do a lot of standing postures, but for this hand mudra, you're going to take your thumb and connect it to your ring finger on both sides of your hands. So essentially, you have peace fingers plus your pinkies are still sticking out. And then come to rest the backs of your hands on your knees. So it's essentially what we think of as like a meditation hand mudra, but our fingers are different than the typical maybe circular or anything else you've seen. So thumbs are connected to the ring finger. Maybe you choose to help yourself settle in by closing your eyes, taking away one of the senses, sight, or you soften your gaze If you still need to be watchful or mindful of maybe pets, kids, objects moving around you, depending upon when and where you're practicing. Begin to take those deep, full body breaths, filling your belly, your rib cage, your chest. Exhaling the air from your belly, your rib cage, and your chest. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Continue to breathe at your own pace, allowing every breath you take to get a little bit longer if that's comfortable in your body today. If your mind's starting to wander away from the breath, maybe think about the flow of energy of your breath coming in through your nose, traveling down into your belly, then your rib cage, and filling your chest, getting the mental image of your torso being full of air, and then following the breath as it leaves your belly, your lungs, and your chest. Maybe you give this energy a color in your mind's eye, maybe red, the color associated with the root chakra. Slowly release the breath practice or pranayama after your next exhale, and just continue to breathe deeply at your own pace and at your own rhythm. Allowing your upper body to expand and contract in any way that feels natural. Shifting the focus from following the energy of your breath to the base of your pelvic bowl. So where your seat bones are meeting the floor. Still holding on to the red color. Then noticing that the energy is taking on a spherical form. At the very, very base of your spine, between your legs, at the base of your pelvic bowl. This is the location of your root chakra. Muladhara chakra. Your root chakra is related to security, survival, self-acceptance. A balanced root chakra allows you to access traits and characteristics of acceptance for who you are, including your skill sets, your habits, the little details of your personality, and who you are as a human being. The root chakra's element is earth. That's why as we move through practice today, I'll be cueing to notice where your weight is distributed in your feet. Whether it's a single leg balance or both feet are on the ground, Really thinking about the connection your feet have with the mat is connecting you with the element of the earth. Maybe you get to practice outside and you can feel the literal earth beneath your feet. If you're like me and practicing inside, it becomes metaphorical. The ground you stand on being the earth of your present moment. You can keep your eyes closed or maybe gently open them as you move into child's pose. So bring your knees to the outside edges of your mat, your big toes to touch, sinking your hips towards your heels and gently walking your fingertips forward until your forehead is close to the mat or even resting on the mat. Sending energy into your fingertips to straighten your arms and begin to feel a stretch through your spine. Maybe you're like me and you feel a stretch in your upper back. As much as today's practice is about the root chakra, it's also about becoming grounded in yourself. Being able to trust that your body can support you. And finding peace in who you are today, in the present moment. Picking an intention for your practice that feels good to you. For me, I'm focusing on feeling at home in my body, feeling grounded in who I am on an internal basis, rather than the roles and responsibilities that I have as part of my life. Maybe you're feeling a lack of connection to yourself like me, and groundedness is calling out to you. Maybe it's something else. Whatever it may be, continue to breathe with your intention for the remainder of practice. Slowly walk your fingertips over to the left side of your mat, the top left corner. Reaching your right fingertips a little farther than your left to feel a stretch through the right side of your torso. Noticing if your right hip is coming up away from your right heel. And sending energy down towards the ground out of your hip so that your hips remain in an equal line with one another. On your next exhale, slowly walk your hands over to the right side of your mat. Once again, reaching your left fingertips a little higher than your right to get a full stretch in the left side of your body. Mindfully move your way back to the center of your mat and push yourself up to tabletop, taking any organic movement that feels good. Maybe pressing forward, arching through your back, and then maybe back into child's pose a few times. slowly making your way to a tabletop that feels good. Maybe even continuing the movement into some cat and cow rotations. And when you're ready, slowly find a neutral spine. Zipping up through the midline to activate your 360 core. Supporting your spine as it lengthens. Send energy out the crown of your head and out your tailbone. There's a bi-directional pull of energy beginning in the middle of your spine. Tuck your toes underneath your feet. Take a big inhale in through your nose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Press your hips up and back, lowering your heels towards the mat. Continuing to breathe here, maybe finding movement, bending one knee and then the other. Coming to stillness when you're ready, with as much of a bend in your knees as you need to take discomfort out of your hamstrings and low back. Re-engaging your 360 core, zipping up through the midline if you've let go. You might even notice your deep core activating, some energy moving through your root chakra and the extension of the root chakra down your legs and into your feet. Inhale, gaze forward between your palms. Exhale, forward fold. Walk your feet as many steps as you need until they're behind your palms. Once again, bending your knees to take discomfort out of your hamstrings or low back if either location is tight in your body today. Allowing the crown of your head to fall towards the mat. Inhale, slowly roll up with your head being the last to rise to standing, palms facing forward as they rest on either side of your body. Maybe now you slowly blink your eyes open and notice how your weight is distributed between both of your feet. Feel into all four corners of your feet for equal weight distribution. Allow your feet to feel heavy on the ground, connecting you to the earth beneath your feet, beneath the mat. If your eyes are still adjusting, slowly open them even more. We're going to start our balancing series. So if you're towards the front of your mat like me, you might need to take a couple steps back, closer to the back side of your mat, or the back half. We're going to move into standing forehead to knee pose. This comes from the Hatha lineage of yoga. You may be familiar. There are 4 different variations. You are more than welcome to take any, all, 2, whichever variations feel good in your body. I'm going to present them as a progression of one another. So starting with part 1, shift your weight into your left foot, bend your right knee so that your right thigh is parallel with the mat. beneath you or below you, and flex your foot so that your toes are pointed up towards the sky. This is part one. You can stay here, focusing on the connection your left foot has with the earth, finding security and strength in your body, connecting to your root chakra and the security it brings you. Option to progress to part two and wrap your fingertips underneath the sole of your right foot, bringing your chest down to your knee and allowing your head to fall forward as if your forehead was going to connect to your knee. Progression to part three, straighten your right leg so that the sole of your right foot is out towards the wall in front of you. And the progression to part four is lowering your forehead towards your right knee. Everyone slowly come back up to part one and lower your foot to the mat. Shake it out. Your left leg might be a little tired right now. That's okay. We're going to do it all on the right side to even out your body. Finding equal standing pose. Slowly shift your weight onto your right foot this time and bend your left knee so that you have a 90-degree angle at your knee joint. Once again, you are more than welcome to stay here, focusing on your core engagement, zipping up through the midline, bringing your rib cage closer together, as well as on the four corners of your right foot. Maybe you move to part two, bringing your chest to your knee before wrapping your fingertips underneath your left foot and lowering your forehead towards your knee. Part three, straightening your left leg out in front of you, feeling a stretch through your hamstring. Thinking about pressing weight into your right foot, sending energy down into the earth. Maybe it's red, themed for the root chakra of your practice today. Progression to four, lowering your forehead towards your knee. And slowly coming back to part one and lowering everything down. Shaking out your right leg, your hands. There was our standing forehead to knee mini series, as I like to call it. If you noticed, I find greater balance by having a slight bend in my knee. That is not usually how it is taught. The ultimate goal is to have your standing leg straight, but that is not feasible all the time. So whatever your standing forehead to knee postures looked like, please celebrate it. Find acceptance for what your body was able to do for you today, recognizing its strength and how secure you can feel. Even if you notice that you were wobbling or maybe you fell out and came back in, your body was resilient and you tried it again. That's the success. That's the goal. That's your root chakra showing you, I have your back. I am here for you and you're safe. Perfect. Now we're going to move on, finding yourself in maybe the middle of your mat, more towards the front. We're going to go through a typical sun A. So inhale, mountain pose, reach your fingertips up towards the sky or the roof, wherever you may be. And take a few deep breaths here. Rotate your pinky fingers in and your thumbs out to create space between your shoulder blades. Inhale, find length through your entire body. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Lift your torso halfway. Press your palms into your shins or thighs. And continue to breathe here. Just like in tabletop, we're going to send or create a bidirectional pull of energy by sending energy out the crown of our head as well as out your tailbone. Take one big inhale in through your nose. Exhale, plant your palms, step back to high plank. Shift forward a couple inches, lower down halfway, keeping your elbows tucked in. Inhale, upward facing dog. Untuck your toes, shine your collarbone forward, and allow your hips to fall towards the floor. Exhale, downward facing dog. Come up and over your toes. Maybe you untuck your toes and press your hips back. That is your first Chaturanga Dandasana sequence of class today. Taking a few deep breaths here to reconnect to your breath, to the security of your body and what it is able to do for you today. If that version of Chaturanga didn't feel good to you, you are more than welcome to come down onto your knees as you move through the flow, or to hold high plank, meeting us back in downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze between your palms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Here comes a change. Exhale, baby back bend. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, move through your Chaturanga Dandasana, high to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, baby back bend. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, your Chaturanga Dandasana, high to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Stay here for one cycle of breath. Take a big inhale in. Sigh it out, exhale. Inhale, three-legged dog. Lift your right leg high. Toes stay pointed towards earth to keep the hips in line with one another. Exhale, low lunge. Plant the sole of your right foot between your palms. Pressing into your palms, maybe arching through your upper back to get your knee underneath your torso. Inhale, crescent lunge. Keep the legs where they are. Stack the shoulders over the hips and reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling, the sky. Continue to breathe here. Engage your left glute to push your left hip in line with your right. Maybe you even think about pulling your right hip back. Securing a base for your root chakra, for the energy to continue circulating in that spherical ball we talked about earlier. Take a big inhale in. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Inhale, tilt your torso forward. Exhale, revolve crescent lunge. Bring the outside of your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Gaze out over to the right or out over your right elbow. If you're looking for more stability, you are more than welcome to lower down onto your left knee, creating two 90-degree angles with your legs. Continue to breathe here, using your breath to lengthen through your spine on the inhales and twist further on the exhales, pressing your elbow into your knee to create space between your left oblique and your right thigh. Inhale, untwist back to crescent lunge. Exhale, stay here. Inhale, star pose. Rotate the left leg so that the heel is in, the toes are pointed out. Reach your fingertips up at an angle towards the sky into a star shape or big X with your body. Exhale, horse pose. Sink your hips towards the floor. Bend your knees. Bring your hands to heart center. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, horse pose. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, horse pose. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, warrior two. Bend your right knee. Lift your left heel up and send it out so that the left foot or your left foot is parallel with the short edge of your mat. Send your arms out into a T and gaze over your right fingertips. Breathe here as the power within you sparks and ignites, finding strength, a strong warrior pose for a strong, balanced root chakra of security, survival, self-acceptance. Take a big inhale in. Exhale, windmill the arms, low lunge. Inhale, step back to high plank. Exhale, move through your chaturanga dandasana, high to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, three-legged dog. Lift your left leg up this time. Exhale, low lunge. Plant the sole of your left foot between your palms. Inhale, crescent lunge. Keep your legs where they are. Stack your shoulders over your hips and reach your fingertips up towards the sky. Continue to breathe here. Send energy out the heel of your right foot at the same time that you engage your right glute, bringing your right hip forward in line with your left hip. For stability and safety in your joints, keep your left knee directly over your left ankle. Take a big inhale in through your nose. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Inhale, tilt your torso forward. Exhale, revolve crescent lunge. Bring the outside of your right elbow to the outside of your left knee, gazing out to the left or over your left elbow. For more stability, you can come down onto your right knee. Inhale, find length in your spine. Exhale, press your elbow into your knee for more of a twist. Bringing your torso away from your thigh, engaging through your right obliques. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, stay here. Inhale, star pose. Rotate the right heel in, pointing the right toes out. Reach your arms up into an X shape or a star shape. Exhale, horse pose. Bend your knees, sink your hips towards the floor. Bring your hands to heart center. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, horse pose. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, horse pose. One more time. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, horse pose. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, warrior two. Pivot the right heel this time so that your right foot is parallel with the short edge of your mat. Gaze out over your left fingertips, sinking your hips low to the floor, finding strength and power as you challenge your body, trusting that your left quad is there to support you. And send energy into the knife edge or the outside edge of your right foot for equal weight distribution between your feet. Inhale in. Exhale, windmill your arms to low lunge. Inhale, step back to high plank. Exhale, move through your chaturanga dandasana, high to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, have a seat on your mat. Sitting on your heels. If this isn't comfortable, you can find any other seated posture that feels good for you. And we're going to take a few deep breaths here. Slowing the heart rate down. We're going to begin to move into our hips and opening our hips, first with a modified version of pigeon. So So you might need to shuffle to the top of your mat or closer to the top of your mat. We're going to keep our legs in this position. So your knees are going to be pointing straight out in front of you. Then I find it's easier to plant your palms on the mat. I have my palms in front of my knees, but out to the side. So they're shoulder width apart, but in front of my knees. I'm going to stretch my left leg out behind me, directly out behind me. My toes are pointed towards the back wall. The reason I want to offer this version of pigeon is you're able to come up out of pigeon a little bit easier and engage those deep pelvic floor muscles. So we're directly activating the muscles of our root chakra. So here, if you can see, I'm sinking really low, but if I put a little weight into my palms and press up a little bit, I'm shifting my weight closer to my right knee, and I can activate through my deep pelvic floor muscles, so hip flexors, multiple groups of muscles. And from here, if you want, you can lower down onto your elbows for a sleeping pigeon variation. If your pigeon is sleeping, plant your palms back underneath you, pushing up, bringing your left knee in to meet your right, and then switching to the other side. So your right leg is stretching long out behind you. You're sinking low and then coming up just a little bit to engage your deep pelvic floor muscles, your hip flexors. And then with the option to sink into sleeping pigeon if it feels good in your body. Sometimes for me, it feels better to just bend my elbows a little bit. If you want to have like a sleeping pigeon variation, but you don't want to go as low, you can place a block underneath your elbows. Or you can use your block, whatever way it works for your body and your pigeon pose variation, to lower your forehead on, to rest your forehead. Slowly press back up onto your palms, bringing your right knee in to meet your left. From here, tuck your toes underneath your feet, as if you're gonna kind of sit back on your heels, giving your feet a little stretch. And this is one way to get into it. It may not be accessible for all people. So after I show, we're gonna move into frog pose. It may be easier for you to get into from a forward fold or from downward facing dog. So for me, from where we're at right here, I'm going to use my palms to press onto the balls of my feet and then take steps forward until my heels are on the inside of my mat, my toes are pointed out, so my feet are at an angle with both of my feet, and then I sink my hips low towards the mat, and I'm pressing my elbows. I like that I'm on the side here, so I'm pressing my elbows into my knees to both open my hips and expand across my chest. So if you're just sitting here and sinking, you're gonna kind of look like this, with your knees kind of forward, your weight's gonna be on the inside of your feet. We want to press our hips or our knees further apart and shift more weight into the outside edges of our feet so that all four corners of our feet have equal weight. So think about your pinky toes pressing into the earth and you're shining your collarbones forward. This is frog pose. Frog pose, you can take a big rest here, or maybe you come up half an inch, and once again, you're activating those deep pelvic floor muscles. You can rock from side to side. Maybe you shift one shoulder forward and then the other. We're staying here only for a second. And take yourself out of frog pose however it feels good to you. So I'm going to plant my palms and step back onto my knees to tabletop. And slowly make your way belly down on your mat. You can rest your forehead on the mat, your nose pointed directly down, and keep your palms on either side of your rib cage. Sigh out all of your breath. Inhale, cobra pose. Use your back muscles to lift your chest off the mat, keeping your chin tucked towards your chest. Maybe you keep your fingertips on the mat. Maybe you lift them up entirely. Exhale, lower down. Second round of cobra. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, lower down. From here, you can roll all the way onto your back, or maybe you sit up and then make your way into a supine position, whatever feels good in your body. I'm just going to roll over. Bring your knees into your chest. We did some twisting today, so I don't want to overdo the spinal twists, but rocking from side to side will probably feel good. Maybe you move into happy baby, reaching for your ankles, the soles of your feet, opening through your hips, sending your knees into your armpits, and swaying from side to side. Happy baby can be a static pose if that feels good in your body. Slowly bring your knees into your chest. I like to reach for my heels. If that's not accessible, you can reach for any part of your body. Bringing your forehead into your knee, squeezing into it as tight of a ball as you possibly can. Exhale, lower everything down for your final resting pose, shavasana. Extend your arms and legs out long. Shavasana, I will always preach this, is a time for processing. You're allowing your body to process what you just did, the yoga asana practice we just had. Maybe today you choose to repeat a mantra to yourself. You can say, I am safe. I am secure. I love myself for who I am. I am safe. I am secure. I love myself for who I am. I will stay here for a couple minutes and I will guide you out, but you are more than welcome to stay here until way after the video ends. Slowly bring movement back into your body. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Rock your head from side to side. Maybe you even take a good morning, good evening, good any time of day stretch before rolling onto one side of your body. It doesn't matter which side. And resting your head on your arm, on your hands. Maybe you take a few cycles of breath here before making your way to a seated posture. Thank you for practicing with me today, connecting to your root chakra. I hope this practice has left you feeling more grounded and at peace with who you are, filled with self-love that comes from inside rather than seeking external validation that is far too easy to do in this world. Thank you all for your time. Please like and subscribe to the channel. If you want to learn more about what Calibo Yoga is, if you're looking for a private yoga instructor for an event you're hosting, visit caliboyoga.com. It's linked in the description, and please stay tuned for all the videos. I have a podcast on this channel. I post YouTube shorts. I have an Instagram page, and every Friday I upload a new yoga flow. Have a great rest of your day, night, evening, whenever you may be practicing, and I'll see you soon.